So this will be the 12th stream of the week. And we're doing this twice a day, every day for a month. And we've covered so many things on this immersive live stream so far. Today we're going to be covering banners, how to make banners and what we can use banners for. They're just a little mechanic that I really like and I like to use in certain situations. And so I think it's worth looking at. I think this is something that we should be aware of in our classrooms because banners are a fantastic tool. So as always, let me just go back to the beginning. We're going to click play. We're going to go view my worlds, and I just do that. I always do this bit. You'll see that we've got a farming world, we've got a mechanics play world. I've deleted some of the other ones, but we've got a bunch of worlds in there that we always start with new because I want to just keep reinforcing this. So we're going to click on new. We jump to and from other worlds, but just always to start. So let's call this one Banner World. Creative, peaceful. You guys should know this by now. Doesn't really matter because nobody's going to be joining us multiplayer. We're going to make this infinite just to play around with and see what the world has in store for us. Every single world is new. Keep that in mind. Then we're going to do show coordinates just simply because it's good practice. We're going to do always day. We don't need code builder, but I'm going to leave it on just in case because actually the way there's been 2 streams now where we've gone, I've got an idea, and then we jump off into code builder and we try coding something. So you never know. I'm just not sure how that will fit this time. Perfect weather and everything else can remain the same. So this is our banner world. Welcome if you're in the chat, if you're watching from any one of a number of places. So we're beaming out live to Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Mixer and Twitch. Say hi. We've reached hundreds of people this week so far. Let's see who's joining us this time. Right, okay, let's have a look. We've got lots of forest, both taiga forest and general forest. We've got some mountains, we've got some plains, and there's plains as well. There's a village. I like the villages. We always end up in a village if I can find one. So let's do that now. We can maybe name the houses. Okay, nice little village. These guys make hay. Sure, I just saw a cow escape. I did, and I know how. Okay, so let's just have a little look around the village first of all and explore. This is interesting, although, yeah, okay, so that farm is on some sort of platform there. We did farming this morning. We showed all kinds of, potatoes, beetroot, how to grow wheat, and then how to use that mechanism inside Minecraft to do things like, oh, there's a little cat, 2 of them. Hey, little guys. To do things like mathematics and so on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and get myself a banner. Now, when I type in the word banner, you'll see that we have all of the standard colours. We have the blacks and the greys right through all of the, got yellow and so on. So I'll just take a yellow one. And what we can do with our banners is we can, first of all, we can put them on the ground. So I'm just going to put one here and you'll see what that looks like. It's just a standard yellow banner. And this is quite a nice way, particularly if you're doing things in school and you have a group of kids in, whoops, see, that's because I pressed C and I didn't mean to do that. You've got a group of kids in and you can allocate them colours. So when they do a build, they can add banners to their, Becky, you're going to be yellow, and Jason, you're going to be blue, and, Karine, you're going to be red, and so on and so on and so on. And it just gives them that identity, it gives their builds that identity. So sometimes when we're working with kids, they build loads of stuff together and you want to zoom out and be like, all right, so the blue stuff, the yellow stuff, the green stuff, the red stuff, I know, according to my chart, I know whose building that is. And that can just be sitting outside, but it can also be sitting on the wall. So I'll pop one there and you'll see that just kind of goes on the wall. And actually, if we just watch that for a second, it goes back and forward and moves a little. And so we can put that on the wall and we can do another one there, and it just means that that house belongs to Becky, for example. Oops. Now you'll notice I just tried to get rid of that but it's not working, and that's because it's the lowest block you'll see it kind of the red, the little black line that appears there. That will get rid of it. It's that. It's not the top. So keep that in mind when you're trying to get rid of them. Let's just pop that back in there. There we are. And so, there's my agent. I should have got rid of him. Remove at C. Okay, now we can also, let's just have a look at another banner. Let's just put another banner here so we can have colour combinations of those banners. Lee Galloway. Lee Galloway, how are you? And we can also, and hi Catherine, we can also, I hope Lee that you and your family are safe and you're well in these odd times. And so we could do that on the side of a door. So let's just have a look at what that looks like. So that's pretty straightforward. But actually, what if we wanted something a little more detailed about our banners? What if we wanted to do something unique with our banners? And so I'm going to get myself a white banner. Just get rid of all the others. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for dye. And if I type in the word dye, you'll see that I actually get a lot of different things. I get white dye, light grey dye, yellow dye, lime dye, etc. Let's get yellow for this particular one. And if you're in survival mode, you make these dyes using components, flowers and things like that. Ink, if you want black dye, you use ink from a squid and so on. But if we take, say, yellow and orange, what we can do is we can put our banner inside a crafting table. Now, bearing in mind, I'm in creative mode, so but that's still okay. So I'm just going to put it here. And inside there, I can place the banner. This time I'm going to place it in the middle. And I'm going to take the die and I'm going to place one all the way round. And we end up with this. I'll show you how to do that again. But now we have a banner that has a yellow border. So let's show you that one more time. So we're going to take a banner, I'm going to put it in the middle, we just right click to separate one, and then I'm going to just take the die and I'm going to surround the banner with dye. And when it's finished, this is the result. We end up with a banner that has, there we are. And you'll see in creative mode, I now don't need to make any more because I can make as many of these as I can use the same one over and over and over again. Note as well, I'm just going to get this, is when I want to destroy one that's on a wall, it's not the bottom. So unlike this one, which is the bottom because it's attached to the ground, this one is the top because it's attached to the wall. If I try to destroy the bottom, I'll destroy the house. But if I destroy the top, I'll destroy the banner. So keep that in mind. That's always a good hint. And then the other thing you can do is you can overlap them. So one there, one there, one there, and one there. And then look what happens if we stand sideways. We can overlap them and they just kind of blow in the wind, which is quite nice. What we could also do, if I just get these, is we could just have a banner there. And you can go through banners. So you can go through those. And it's kind of like, you know, in these Moroccan spice markets or something where you've got the cloth. In fact, when I was in India many years ago, I went to this amazing place where the streets had all these cloths and the dye was on the cloths and it was dripping everywhere. And people just walked through it and got covered in the dye. I didn't get a chance to do that actually because we could only see into the sort of the dye area of the town. But I wanted to go walking through it and get covered in the dye. But that's what they did. So this is lovely. This is something that you can do. It's also a nice way of, on the inside of a house, let's take this particular house here. Hey, little guy. We can put up curtains, for example. So we might put curtains there and there. And then, oh, we can't put them there because that's blocking it. But we could put curtains up. He's now got, are you happy with that? You happy with that? Okay. There we go. If I get rid of those blocks, you'll notice that they fall down. So they're dependent on the block that's now standing with them on it. Okay. Do that, Lee. There's a whole series of them. Lee Galloway is saying that he's definitely going to get his wee one onto Minecraft and you need more of these videos, Lee. They are all available and I'll be doing twice a day, every day for a month. while we're all stuck in our homes. But they're all available on youtube.com/c/immersive minds. Check us out. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to make some more. So let's get back to banners and see what else we can do. Let's use a different color. Let's take another one, and this time let's just do one along the top. So maybe that's my symbol. Maybe as a student, this is how you know my work. And we can have, as a teacher, we could have a reference guide for that. You could have an Excel spreadsheet or something that has, on the wall, it has a reference guide that says, whenever you see Stephen's work in class, it's marked by this, for example. That's maybe the Immersive Minds logo there. What if we did something else? What if we did... this time I'm not going to put it in the middle. This time I'm going to put it at the edge. And I'm going to show you what it looks like at the top. You get the same result. But what if I took that and put it down this way? Now you end up with one that is, whoops, that's not the right one, there. So you can see that now by playing around, and you know what, I keep falling in that water, and so you'd think the sensible thing to do would be to fix the pier. There we are. And so what we can now do is we can start to muck around with this a bit. What if we put one there and then just did 1, 2, 3? Now we end up with this. So really what you're doing is you're using the die to score, to draw, to mark the banners. And so we'll just hang this one up here. And so now we have a selection of these banners, and they look quite nice, right? So let's just play around with some more designs. What if I did... I'm just going to put it at the side there because I want, oops, I want 1, 2, 3. And that gives me that. But I'm going to put this back in now, and I'm going to put it on that side so that I can get my yellow ink and I can do this. Now that is a unique design. Did I pick that one up right? I did, didn't I? Yeah, I put it in the wrong space. There we are. And so now we've got one that looks like that. The yellow, of course, being the last thing I did, and so it's the dominant colour on top. And so as a means of identifying, I'm just always thinking in terms of how we can use these in teaching. My immediate response to these when I saw them was, oh great, these are identifiers for my children's work, which is quite tricky. In fact, I was in a world yesterday with educator David Renton and Steve Isaacs, and we went in to judge an amazing competition that was happening with the kids. And they had these 100 by 100 spaces, and it was wonderful, and what they had done was fantastic. But I got lost at times, and it was chaos. There were times where I was just like, I don't actually know where I'm supposed to be, there was a couple of times we had to say to the kids, which bit did you build? And then one of the kids would come on the mic and say, I built this bit, and we'd follow them to there. And maybe a visual reference, maybe like green section, blue section, orange section for those buildings would have been quite nice. Not necessarily in that scenario, if David's listening, because I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. But my immediate sort of, when people see these and think, well, what would you use them for? I would use them for identifying the work of my children, or guiding. Let's just say you're guiding a lesson, and what you want to say to a child is, now let's see if we can make this happen. Let's get ourselves some red dye. That's redstone. There we are, red dye. I think you know where I'm going with this. Let's get ourselves some green dye. We'll put that in there. And then we're going to go in and we're going to get ourselves a banner. And we're going to do red. Notice if you make a mistake, it doesn't give you anything. And then we're going to put that back in, and we're going to do 1, 2, 3, red again. So there's our crosses. Not that I agree with giving kids a red cross as a mark necessarily, but certainly in terms of an idea of whether or not they're on the right track. What if we were to do, let's see, how would we make a tick? I'm not sure if we can. You know what? Let's try something. Nope, that's not going to work either. Okay, bear with me while I work this out. Right, let's try that. So I'm going to take that and then I'm going to put it back in, and I'm just going to put white dye in the corner. Oh, that didn't work. That didn't work. That didn't really either. No, I don't know if we can make a tick. If anybody is watching that thinks, I know how to do that, let me know. Because my instinct would be, I don't even think that's right. See, I end up with, that's not even, what even is that? Let's do white along the top. And we've ended up with, you know what, I'm going to put that on the wall anyway, because, hey, that is a work of art. That is a total success compared to my amazing, you know what, maybe just red, maybe just red or green, Melissa, absolutely. But hey, we've got to try, right? We've got to try. And so what we could do, in fact, what we could do is we could just do one there and then just green. And then we'll take another one there and just red. And so what we could do is we could add a red and a green. And this could be the idea of sort of helping children to navigate into areas that they're supposed to be in or they're not supposed to be in, or tell them to go to that area, and if they see this symbol, they must do a certain task. So wherever you see green dot, you must do the green questions on this page. Wherever you see a red dot, you must do the red task by building me something, for example. And so we can use these to differentiate between tasks, as well as guidance, as well as identifiers for our children's work. I quite like this. This is a colourful exercise. I quite like this one. But what if we wanted to do something a little more complex? So let me show you. I'm going to take you to a different world. Let me take you to another world. And we're going to go to... Actually, before I do that, let me show you a... Oh, no, it's okay. I will take you straight there. I will. Because otherwise I get distracted. I'm terrible for going, you know what we're going to do? Let's take you to the gold rush. The California gold rush. In the California gold town. So what we've done is we've built this gold rush town. And then you'll see there that we've actually made signs that read letters. These are just brown. You'll see them hanging there like everything else. But actually what we've done is we've made that one say food. This one says tools. This one over here says mines. Ammo. What else have we got? Saloon. And a green saloon, because this is a team-based game. And then, of course, the bank. So, how do we do that? I'm not going to do that in this world, but I just wanted to show you what that looks like. These are the kinds of things that we can do. So let's go and see if we can make letters. Take you back to my world and see if we can do that. And so, let's get ourselves some black dye. You can also use ink directly. And we're going to get ourselves some... Let's get ourselves a yellow banner. Straight up yellow banner. We'll do something like... now I need to work out... Now there are websites that can help you to do this, but I'm going to try and work this out myself. You only get a set number of changes as well. So let's see if we can... Oops, take that one. And then we're going to do... So we've got an O. I'm trying to work out how to do a B and I can't remember how to do it. I can't remember how to do the B, but anyway, we've got an O. So let's try and say go, although a G is a particularly hard one. Oh no, I tell you what, we haven't finished yet. What I like to do with these is once I'm finished, if I'm still able to, is, let's just do this just now, we're going to put that in the middle and then we're going to do the border around it. And what it does is you'll see the difference between this banner and this banner. It's much crisper. It actually creates a much nicer looking letter. So if we look at the difference, that's a nicer looking letter, I think, than this one. So let's see if we can do a G. What do we reckon a G looks like? This is where I fail miserably because I know how to do these things, but not every detail of how to do these things. So let's try it again. Actually, we're going to use a yellow banner, right? So we're going to use a yellow banner, and then we're going to use black ink, and we're going to do that. Then I reckon this could work. Let's experiment together. There we go. Then we're going to do no, not yellow, black. I need black again. And then black. We might actually have done this. That's all right, eh? I think that actually works. Can you tell I'm really happy with myself? It is probably not at all what it's supposed to look like, but I reckon that says go. What do you think? I think that works. So we can do stop, we can do go, we can do help, we can do info. There's a website online, I think it's a New Zealand or an Australian based website that actually does it best. That basically says here's what you do, step-by-step guide. If you just look up Minecraft banner letters, there's loads of websites that'll help you do it, and you can do that one. And so there we go. I really like that. Go, no go. And we can create labels, therefore, if we just take the time to do so, we can create labels. Now, the great thing is, one of my recommendations would then be to take a chest, and once you've made the letters that you want, whoops, I've just thrown mine away. Once you make the letters that you want, so let's just head over to this house here and put the chest there. What we can do is, we can put them in there, and there's 27 letters here. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G. H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. And what we can do is we can create a chest that contains the alphabet. I'd love to be able to do that with you, but that's not the purpose of the stream. Let's try A at least. A. Every time I put myself in this situation, I'm like, you know this isn't going to work, Stephen. You know it's not, because what's going to happen is I'm going to do that. Oh, it did! I forget the thing in the middle is actually thinner. And then we're just going to go for a yellow all the way around. Yay! So we got ourselves an A. And then we can go and put that in there. So what would B be? Let's try this again. I'm going to do this bit first for B. Then I'm going to do this. Then this. Then well, there's an E, if nothing else, but I didn't really want an E. I wanted... That's not going to work. That's more like an 8, but I suppose it'll do. There is a way of doing a B with a slight hook on the end, but there we go. A, B, C, D, E, etc. X we already know. The great thing about the X though is that you would take the white die, which I now don't have any of. Not sure why not. I thought I had that. You would take the white die and you would just go round the edge because you've already made that, and then you end up with the X. So we'll just put that in there. It doesn't matter that it's a slightly different colour. We just put X, Y, Z. So there's an empty one, Z, X, Y, Z, etc. And so we would be able to do that. And you can, basically, you can make banners as colourful as you like. Any colour, any style, play around with them. I'll show you what I mean by an end point where you're not allowed to do anything anymore. So let's just take a nice white banner. And then I'm just going to do green, green. Let's try something else to see if we can just make an absolute mess of this. Let's just do yellow. Let's just take red. And let's take black this time. Oh, that's because there's red in there. Look. So let's do that. That's weird. And then let's see, 1, 2, 3. We're still allowed another one, but I've already done that. So let's see if we can get green along the bottom. And then let's see if we can add a bit of orange. No, you see we're not allowed any more. If I do that, it doesn't overwrite. If I do a big triangle, we should be able to. So we've run out of turns. So you only get a certain amount of turns to make a design, and this is the design we came up with. That's brutal. Of course, what it also allows us to do is to do things like, we've already got red dye, we need blue dye. So we've got red, blue, and where's our white dye? And then let's just double check, because I need to double check that we get this right. I'm going to make the French flag, but I want to get it in the right order. There we go, blue, white and red. So let's try that with a nice white banner. So we're going to do blue, and then we're going to do red, and we have the flag. How nice is that? Vive la République. So there we are. What else? Somebody has made, I'm not going to make it because it's a Union Jack. I'll tell you right now, I'm not making it. But somebody has made the Union Jack, and I'm thinking that must be quite complicated because of all the different colours. I don't know how they did that, but there will be an instruction somewhere. The Japanese flag we've already made. That's right. It's quite easy, right? So we'd have to move that slightly. There we go. French and the Japanese and so on. And so this is a short stream because really it's just to introduce you to one tool specifically. But the banners, I think, are worth exploring because there's so much as teachers we can do with them. We can use them as guidance. We can use them as indicators of right and wrong, or do and don't, or go this way, go that way. We can use them to identify our children's work. We can have the children do this great exercise where they design it up front. And here's the thing, when it comes to the designing part, don't dismiss the idea that the art is happening on a 3x3 grid. Give the children the opportunity to do this outside of the game. Have them think ahead, almost computationally thinking. Say, right, if you were going to design something, what are you going to do? And what they'll do is they'll go away with their crayons and their paper and they'll say, step 1, I need to do this. And the result will be that. If I put that in, for example, I want them to tell me that this is what's going to be next. The white banner is going to look like that next. Then what they're going to do is they're going to tell me in step 2, and we could do this as like a multi-step exercise. It's going to look like that. And then step 3 is to put a yellow one down the middle. And then they come to you and they say, this is what I think it's going to look like with these steps. Great, now go try it. And then that is how Sophie is going to identify all of her work from now on. Everything you see, that's Sophie's badge, Sophie's identity. And she can have that on the front of her homework. When she hands it in, she can have that on her coat hanger at school, whatever she wants. But that's how Sophie identifies in her little Minecraft world, almost like a badge or a digital avatar-y kind of identity. So I'm going to leave it there. It's a short one tonight to focus on one tool only, but hopefully you can see that between countries and identities and guidance and letters, where's my letters? So there's my letters go. We've actually ended up with quite a nice way of looking at, exactly, Melissa, like a logo that they can do for themselves, and they can, and every kid loves that. Like, what kid doesn't want to have some means of personal identity, right? So have a think about how you can do that going forward. I'd be interested to see if anyone can do the South African flag using a banner. If you do, Facebook message me or DM me with a picture of it, right? The South African flag, because that's got that triangle black thing in it, in the middle, and then it's white and it's green and it's red. It's got a lot of colour and a lot of shape and it's fascinating. And then, you know what? I can't resist trying. This will be my right. I'm gonna set the challenge, and you guys are gonna see if you can do it. And let me just Google the South African flag, and then I'm gonna challenge you to do better than me. All right, South African. Right, here we go. So according to this, I need to do that. It's green. Wow. Then I need to do. See, that's just going to overwrite it. I don't understand. I suppose we could get as close to it as possible. Maybe it's not possible. Let's try it though. Let's try at least. I'm going to get the blue. No, that's not going to work. You know what I needed to do? I needed to do blue and red first. Let's do that again. Okay, here goes. I like a challenge. Confession, I have someone else that does these for me. I have this amazing Irishman who I just call up and say, Kays, I need some banners. And he makes them for me. I'm really lazy that way. Right, there we go. So that looks like a good start. Then I need to do... I think it's going to take green actually. Green's going to be next. Oh my goodness, this looks like it might work. I bet it does. No way I'm going to get away with this. Oh, it's not perfect. It's not. I don't know how to make it. Where is it? What did I do with it? I think I put it in... Where did I put it? Don't tell me I just lost my... Oh, there it is. It was South African flag. Okay, so that, ladies and gentlemen, is your challenge, is to beat me at the South African... Because that's really quite bad. I know. Well, actually, Melissa, it's funny you should say that. Melissa on Facebook has just commented that it's too bad that you can't map it like a picture. My next stream, which is tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, 12 p.m. GMT, is on maps, mapping a world. And then tomorrow afternoons is on pictures, getting pictures into Minecraft. So we're getting there. But this certainly isn't. That's not bad, though. I think... Any South Africans watching? Forgive me, because there's yellow in there as well. I don't know how we would get yellow in, and I don't know how we would get the extra white bit in. Who knows? I bet you there's an online way of doing it. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in for this much shorter, but I think equally as important live stream in terms of one of Minecraft's fundamental tools for classroom identity, guidance, and education. All right. So tune in tomorrow at 12 p.m. GMT. I will see you guys then. Bye.